Right, straight up bored of procrastination. I'm bored of putting off my goals, putting off my aspirations and anything I want to do for a few minutes of instant gratification. Things like GTA, things like Warzone, things like Netflix, TikTok, and scrolling through Instagram. It all ends up in just a full-on binge and I get nothing done. Now more than ever, it is so hard to restrict yourself from all of these instant gratification activities because they're there right in front of you 24/7. You're lying at home, in bed, TV's there, your phone's there, literally anything is there for you to just go on and immerse yourself in. I'm sure watching this, there are probably things that you want to be doing right now but are putting off, and it's likely that you want to stop putting them off, which is why you're watching this video. Yet it's not the right time, or you're taking a break, and that break for some of you might have turned into a day, turned into a week, or just a whole period of time where you're stuck doing nothing, not getting anything done that you want to get done. I've been stuck in this state for about a week or so now, and it's killing me. I have been relatively consistent throughout this lockdown period, getting everything that I needed to done. All I had to do was get my schoolwork done and then edit a few of these videos, and that was fine. I was happy, I was consistent, and I was getting it done to some extent. There were a few periods, admittedly, where I'd take breaks or I'd immerse myself in these instant gratification activities, but over the last couple of weeks, I've been taking on a few extra things that I don't have to do, but I want to do them for myself. Personal projects, activities, and stuff that I think is going to better myself. This includes things like reading personal development books, doing all my workouts, doing my A-levels, doing some online courses, just stuff that's going to better myself, my life, my health, my happiness. I'm trying to just set myself up in the best possible position that I can be, being as happy as I can throughout the process, and that's hard. I can't seem to prioritize it. I end up trying to do too much every single day, and I'll do that fine for a couple of days. I'll be really productive, I'll do everything that I want to do, but then I'll just burn out. Mentally, I can't cope with all of those activities that I'm trying to do at once, and then I'll see reminders on social media, the internet, or literally wherever that I could be doing something else. Then I want to start trying to do that, but I can't seem to prioritize the activities that I'm already doing, or set a schedule for doing, say, work, then a bit of this, then a bit of that. I just want to get it all done in a day, and that leads to me burning out. Last week, I did 2 strong days where I did like 9 hours of work both days. The next 2 days, I binged Netflix all day, getting up at like 9 or 10 when I should have been getting up at 6 when I set myself. So if this sounds like something that you do, if you are stuck in this phase of trying to get things done but you just can't bring yourself to do it, or for some reason can't motivate yourself to get up and do that thing, or if you just want to be more productive, then keep watching this video. When you're overwhelmed with loads of stuff you want to do, you subconsciously look for the easy way out. Look for things that are easy in the moment so you can delay those activities till later when it's a better time. Well, last week, my mate mentioned to me this idea of a dopamine fast, which supposedly resets your mindset and allows you to find more satisfaction and enjoyment in the things that you actually want to be doing. Like starting a business, like doing all your work, like doing all of the projects that you want to be doing, or working out, getting better in terms of academics, in terms of fitness, in terms of whatever you want to be getting better at. And now it involves abstaining from anything that gives you instant gratification or dopamine in that moment for a period of time. This means no phone, no music, no videos, no gaming, no Netflix, no sex, no anything that gives you an instant reward. If you take it to the extreme, some also go without talking, and this is practiced by monks all over the world. Now, I would ask them, but I can't. Essentially, in this age of overstimulation, by refraining from all of your desires and taking a day to essentially put yourself into a state of boredom where you're not indulging in any of these activities, you begin to realize what's important. You begin to prioritize and define exactly what you want and how you're going to get there. You supposedly emerge with a clearer, sharper, and more resilient mind for the stuff that you want to be doing to put yourself in the best possible position that you can be. However, there is a fair bit of skepticism surrounding this. Most professionals believe that taking a day or a period of time just to not do any of this isn't actually going to reap the benefits that most people desire. They say to see truly lasting effects, you need to eliminate what's detrimental to your mindset and detrimental to your mentality. So, over the last week, I carried out an experiment. When I woke up each morning, I did not touch my phone or use any technology whatsoever. I also tried to refrain from any other instant gratification activities until at least midday. Rather than doing a dopamine fast, I listened to the advice of the professional and limited my dopamine intake. This is what happened. Okay, quick disclaimer, this footage is all filmed after the experiment because, as I've said, I wasn't allowed technology. Okay, day 1 began well. No distractions meant I got up almost straight away rather than spending anywhere between 20 minutes and a few hours on my phone. I didn't have a sense of time or any structure to these mornings, I just did whatever I wanted without breaking the rules. I got out of bed and got into some clothes before tidying my room. Now I was already getting tired of the silence, so didn't want to eat breakfast without anything. I grabbed the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens and read it for the first time since my mum had dropped it on my desk. This was the first instance of success in this experiment. After about 40 minutes of reading this with breakfast, I went upstairs and stretched. Again, I usually get distracted and caught up in something else, so forget to stretch. So here was the second instance of success. I then took a leaf out of Matt Devella's book and I brewed a coffee for a walk around the block. Not only did I find this really help prepare me for the day, but it also allowed me just to get deeper into thought, and I began to observe a better sense of clarity for what I needed to do. This clarity stayed with me, for when I got home, I managed 4 hours of straight work without a second thought. The third instance of success. The next day was the same. This routine seemed to have worked, so I stuck with it. When it came to reading my book, this time I began to dive deeper and take ideas from it that I could apply to that day and to my current situation. I also tried writing an affirmation and some things that I was grateful for, which really helped to keep me motivated and content. After the walk, even though I was tired due to a late night, I still managed to bust out a solid 3 hours of work and then more succeeding my break. Now, day 3 came around and this topped it off. I had determined that in my life there were 4 so-called centres: education, health, finance and relationships, and if I could develop each whilst doing the things that I enjoyed, I could truly be content and successful. During this walk on the 3rd day, the clarity and resilience of mind that was a supposed benefit of dopamine fasting or restriction came into play, and I now actually felt prepared to take on everything that I had to do. I was coming up with solutions to my workflow problems, ideas to improve my situation, and habits that I truly believed I could and would stick to that would make me happier and more successful. At the end of the day, dopamine fasting is going to be a habit just like any other. If you stick to that habit, it's going to reap real benefits and you're going to see drastic improvements in your workflow, in your confidence in yourself, and the productivity with everything you're doing. If you don't stick to it, you're just going to get into that same cycle of highs and lows, and it's just not going to go great. For me, I found that actually sticking to it was quite a challenge. I'd get up, I'd want to go on my phone. First few days it was fine, I wasn't bothered, I could just easily get up and not go on anything. After the 3rd day and the 4th day, it got a bit harder and I found myself really wanting to go on it. I think with time, that desire to indulge will ease, but I don't think it helped that when I got past that midday point and I was allowed to indulge, I really did. So for example, with lunch, I'd just spend 40 minutes gaming with my brother, or doing something with the boys, or looking at social media, something like that. And that didn't really help, I don't think. So in hindsight, if I would actually take this up as a habit, I'd restrict my intake, slowly allow certain things that I actually needed or actually benefited from throughout that midday period. And then when it got past that, I wouldn't suddenly indulge. I'd kind of see what I actually wanted to do deep down, what was actually going to benefit me, and use it as a slight relief as opposed to I need to go and do this, I need to indulge in this, if that makes sense. But this week has been terrible. So I finished the experiment on technically Wednesday, because I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday I had a control where I did the same sort of routine but with those distractions. So I was allowed to go on my phone to check stuff, I was allowed to listen to music, and I actually found that I enjoyed my time and enjoyed the process a little more whilst I was doing that, but it was much easier to slip back into the habit of not doing the work. So I sort of ride a roller coaster if I'm allowed to indulge stuff, of going to real highs and then real lows. And this week I really saw that, because on Monday I did loads, and then the rest of this week has been awful. I've been allowing myself to watch TV, binge Netflix, go on my phone and do all of that, and I haven't done anything. Literally 4 days of nothing. I've still got loads of work to do. That's not going to disappear, and I don't feel like I respect myself as much having not done it. I hold myself at a much higher point if I'm doing this work and if I'm being productive. So tomorrow or Sunday, I'm actually going to participate in a full-on dopamine fast, just to see if it really does help me see the priorities, help me realise why I actually want to go on these things, why I actually want to indulge in these activities, and see if I can slowly eliminate some of the ones that are a bit more damaging to my mindset and my productivity. I'm not obviously going to completely eliminate everything, because that would just be stupid. I think the music really helps, especially on the walks. It really helps me to sort of let go, but also focus on the things I actually want to do. The gaming, obviously it's a good social activity. I just like spending time with people on that. Going out, obviously I like spending time with people doing that. But I'm going to try and lessen just my stupid addiction to my phone and watching TV literally whenever. I need a bit more rigidity and a bit more definition as to when I'm going to allow myself to do that. So hopefully tomorrow that will help. But all of you watching, I think the biggest thing with staying productive and sticking to these habits, this is obviously going to help this dopamine fast, but you've got to look at yourself and you've got to ask yourself, are you respecting yourself anymore doing the activity that you're currently doing? If not, why are you doing it? If it's not going to benefit you, if you're not respecting yourself anymore, and it's not benefiting tomorrow, why are you doing it? I know that's hard, and I ask myself that a lot, and then I just get into a state where I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm still doing it because I feel like I want to. And then it just slips into that cycle again of going high, crashing into a low, and then slowly trying to build yourself back up. So are you respecting what you're doing right now? If not, make a difference, make a change, get back to a state that you respect yourself and respect your actions. And if you can do that, this is going to help. The fast, potentially, I'll make a video on that soon, and you're going to feel a lot better about yourself and what you're doing. Cool? If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, please drop a subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you know exactly when the next video is coming out. Other than that, I'll see you soon.